Yeah, so Voltcycle sent me a controller, a waterproof wire, and what looks like to be an instrument cluster for this Voltcycle here. The Voltcycle has an error code E010. Of course, I'm gonna try the easy stuff first, and then we'll tackle the hard stuff. Mostly because it looks like it might be a pain in the ass to get to the controller on this. I could be wrong, but I'm not 100% sure exactly where the controller is. My best guess would be in this area here, but I don't know if the controller is easy to get to, or if I have to remove this whole battery pack mount to get to it or not. So yeah, unfortunately these bikes are not waterproof. This had issues straight out of the box from the factory before it was even ridden. But just kind of heads up, anybody that has a EBM M3, there is no waterproofing on this bike, so don't ride it in the rain, and I'd stay out of puddles, which is kind of unfortunate at this time of age in the where we're at, that modern day, that they couldn't waterproof this bike. That's kind of upsetting, and it's probably similar with lots of these e-bikes. Now, if you're riding around town or something, you're probably not going to have too many problems, but if you're you want to take this thing off-roading, which it looks the part, don't go through any water. I don't know about the motor, but I know the other electrical parts. I've seen other people comment in the comments and the reviews that they got it wet and they started having issues. So yeah, don't take it through the water unless you have some form of waterproofing that you can do, which I'm not familiar with. So I just tell my daughter, don't ride it in the rain. Ain't that right, Colt? So they sent me a controller, some wiring, and this monitor. So I'm turning it on right now, and as you can see, I still have an error code. So this was the easiest thing to do first, so I just tried the new monitor and the new switch, because it was the easiest thing to try, and it still has a code. So it looks like I'm gonna have to change out the controller and maybe even some wiring. So I don't know how complicated that's gonna get, but hopefully it's not too terrible. I'll let you guys know. Maybe I'll take a couple pictures. This was pretty easy because it was one connector, so I just basically wired this one in, and it was one connector to test it out to see if the error code would go away. Unfortunately, it's still there. So looks like I'm gonna put a controller in it. Wish me luck. Yeah, so this is the controller they sent me. I have to unwrap it. So I'm gonna unwrap it right now, and then I'll let you know what's going on. I got the battery out of it right now, and then we'll see what's up with the controller. Here's the controller for the bike. This is the new one. I haven't got the old one out of the bike yet. It's my next mission, I guess. Hopefully I can figure this thing out. First time for everything. And just so you guys know, there's a part number and everything you need to know about the controller is right there if you're curious. And that's on that EBM3 Voltcycle. All right, Colt. Alright, so your e-bike controller is located in the battery mount. Here you can see I got the battery mount loose. This is the controller right here. It looks like most, if not all, of the wiring is right here. I'll have to figure out what this guy's for because I see it's not connected to anything. And who knows, maybe that's my issue because I do have an error code. Alright guys, as I figure stuff out, I'll let you know. So the controller, you got some pretty small battery power wires here. I consider them kind of small for the size of the battery, but and the connections run down here through the frame, out the bottom, along the swing arm to the motor. How many of these things I'll actually have to change, I don't know yet. Wish me luck. Well, I got the old motor. This is the old one. Or, sorry, controller, not motor. Yeah, I got the old controller out. The wires just passed down through the frame, through the battery mount, to the bottom, and connected. Here's one for the actual motor. And then there's another one here for the controller. Now, I've always kind of looked at this one and thought it was suspect, but we'll find out. I'm gonna know here pretty soon. Yeah, so I don't have anything to connect this to, and my old connector, my old controller wasn't connected to anything. If anybody knows what this is for, let me know. I've been trying to Google it. Let me know. Well, I replaced the controller and I still have an error code. I'll be honest, like, for them to fit the wiring up inside this battery mount, I don't know. So I don't know how I'm supposed to fit all this wiring back up in that battery box somehow, the battery mount, but I still have an error code. I was hoping, since they did put the wrong controller on the bike, as you can see, this one's a 16-inch controller. This is a 20-inch bike. This is the controller that was in the bike. So I was hoping I'd put 2 and 2 together and then this would work. So this is the original display screen, but I don't see how it would be any different than the one I tried earlier. So it's got a new controller in it, but I still have an error code. Well, I put the new controller in and the new display, and the new display doesn't seem to throw an error code. So that's progress. Let me see if I can get the speedometer to work on it now. Well, I got the controller and the wiring in. So what happened with this bike is they sent me a controller for a 16-inch bike. I have a 20-inch bike. So the controller that was in it was for 16-inch, and why they would have, but obviously it had less amperage. I'll put up a picture of the two controllers. And then I did end up having to swap out the display too with the switch because the old set didn't work with the new controller. And let's power this thing on. Hit the center button and hold it for a few seconds to turn it on. And it looks to possibly be fixed. So I haven't road tested this thing yet. That's what we're going to do right now. But I don't have an error code, and when I tested it after I put the controller in, the speedo did work. So I'm going to take it out for a spin, and we'll see how this puppy does, because the controller has more amperage. The speedo actually works. We'll see if the odometer works, and we'll see how fast this thing goes. Okay, we're out here. We're on pedal assist 1. I got no error codes. We got the Voltcycle MB3 or EBM3. I'm sorry, EBM3. It's a 48 volt, 18.2 amp hour, made in China, of course. And here we go, pedal assist 1 with throttle. This throttle too. So what we got? Doing about 9.1 miles an hour on pedal assist 1. Let's bump this up. Okay, we got pedal assist 2. I'm pedaling right now, so it looks like we're doing about 12 miles an hour. Pedal assist 3. This is throttle. I have no idea what the parameters are set at yet because I haven't gone in there and looked at them. It looks like we're doing about 21 miles an hour. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to change some parameters. I'm going to see what they got it limited to. I've had this thing doing 29 with the old controller, so hopefully it goes as fast as the old controller. And we got some brake squeak. And water, all sorts of water. Stay out of the water, guys. These things don't like the water. Yeah, I checked the speedo against my GPS. It's correct. Odometer's working. But the parameters are locked out with the code, so I gotta get the code from somebody because I don't know the code. Once I get the code, I can change the parameters to 28 miles an hour, hopefully. Brake squeak. Alright, so everything worked out there, but the odometer worked, speedo worked, but I'm limited to 21 miles an hour. And the issue I'm having now is this passcode. I don't have the passcode. I requested it from the manufacturer. I've tried some of the ones that were online with no success at this moment. If anybody knows a password that works for a Voltcycle, hit me up.